Very pleasant. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to a Wednesday edition of the Defo Show. Jeff DeForest, we got Mike Lubitz. Tony Segreto is going to join us later on for a little old school. That's brought to you by Texas Roadhouse Restaurants. Ed Garcia from Texas Roadhouse Restaurants has to be euphoric because the shape of the ball is not necessarily the one that he was looking forward to seeing produce a national championship. But little round ball, Michigan, a big ball game last night. Nebraska 3-5. How good of a coach must Dusty May have been when he was at FAU? Was he really in a situation where, I mean, talent to job greatly underestimated? And I know this was that his first foray into being a head coach? I want to
Yes.
say yes.
Yes.
So he takes FAU into a Final Four with a chance to actually advance to the championship game. And then on top of that, he gets the Michigan job, which you'd have to say is a huge step up in company. Michigan had not been obviously producing the kind of results that they've been looking for. And they bring in Dusty May, and the guy's been lights out. And he now has his team at 19-1, ranked third in the country, 75-72 over Nebraska last night. So interesting sidebar. A lot of local people are doing real well. It's all over the sporting world. A big story yesterday, though, and this came out of Hall of Fame balloting. Now, if you ask me, Bill Belichick, I didn't. He's eligible on some fugazi entry into the Hall of Fame of contributors, and it's a different set of criteria because he hasn't been out of the game for 5 years. Yeah, right. He's been out 2 years out of the game. So he was on on a list of contributors and other things. I guess maybe that's the category that coaches fall into. There are a lot of coaches in the Hall of Fame.
100%.
And you go down a list here. You got Don Shula. He had to be celebrating from the grave yesterday, seeing Belichick denied.
What many are saying, yes.
Papa Bear, George Hallis, Walsh is in there. Tom Landry, Paul Brown, Curly Lambeau has a field named after him. You've got Chuck Noll, Joe Gibbs, Air Coryell, Jimmy J got in just recently. Jimmy Johnson, Bill Cowher's in there. Tony Dungy, Marv Levy. So if you look at that list, Lubie, how is it possible? I mean, you have a couple of coaches on that list that are etched permanently into the history of the National Football League. I guess many of them would be, not all of them. Belichick, you would have to think, would be. 6 Super Bowl championships, 9 times to the Super Bowl. I believe he won 17 division titles.
Jesus, really?
No, it's insane, the numbers on Belichick. Now, the only thing he didn't achieve, which Shula was also happy about, is he never got to the
winningest
all-time number of victories that Shula set. I think Shula set it at 347, and Belichick is in there with 333. So he needed only 14 more wins to eclipse Don Shula. Is that right?
Yeah, but no one will give him a job.
I want to give him a job. Is he so insufferable that I mean, look, we see coaches that don't necessarily seem to exhibit the greatest of open, amenable personalities to get close to, put people off, and they've done fine, right? They get jobs. Belichick couldn't buy a job in the National Football League, and ended up making $10 million a year for coaching North Carolina to a 4-8 record. But the distinctive numbers here are staggering: 333 and 178. 6 Super Bowls as a head coach, 2 as a defensive coordinator for Bill Parcells. Came up with Tom Brady, basically. I don't know. Does Brady even get a sniff? I would imagine with his talent and acumen for playing football, he might have found a spot somewhere. But there was no guarantee of that because he was a backup to Drew Bledsoe, and Bledsoe was good. He got injured. Brady came in there. One of the brilliant coaching decisions of all time was Belichick saying, "Hey, Drew, you got to go to the bench." And Bledsoe did come back and save them that one year, where he had to fill in for an injured Brady and accounted for himself very well. As a coach, though, and coaching acumen, to put together 6 Super Bowl championships and go to the bowl 9 times, a lot of guys would love to have that number. I mean, it's so far ahead of the pace in terms of accomplishment.
Mm-hmm.
You can't possibly imagine that the guy wouldn't get in as a first ballot Hall of Famer.
I mean, he's first ballot. He's first ballot clearly and easily. I find it funny that because I forgot. It's funny. I forgot about the cheating, all the scandals. I didn't even know he was up for Hall of Fame. I saw that yesterday. I was like, oh, that's weird. I was like, okay, I don't understand that at all. And then when Ken got in our chats talking about this and that, I was like, oh yeah, all the cheating. I was like, oh,
Spygate and Deflategate. Now, Deflategate, I would think, was much more on Tom Brady than it was on Belichick. I can't imagine Belichick said, "Hey, listen, Tom, here's what you're going to do.
but
You're
I'm
going to
sure
take
he
the air out
knew.
of football." Because if Brady didn't like it that way, if he liked it filled up with helium, they would have gone ahead and done that for him. So it's interesting that falls back on the shoulders and would compromise his chances. You have to ask yourself then if this was the way it's going to go. And now most people feel when they were polling people that have votes and people that would be normally considered part of the voting bloc that have those kind of credentials. Almost everybody said, "Hey, that they're going to make him sit for a year." They didn't want to put him in the first year because they wanted to remind everybody that he was involved in some, let's say, unscrupulous things. But that would mostly be the Spygate thing for me.
Yes, yes,
I don't think Belichick is telling Tom Brady, "Hey, listen, send the two equipment guys into the men's room there and deflate these footballs, take some of the air out because it's going to make it easier for your guys to hang on to." So it seems like it all boiled down to the Spygate thing, which he was fined $250,000 for. It cost him a first round pick, the franchise. Robert Kraft, I believe, is also under consideration. They didn't release who got in. I think
Mm.
somebody did make it off of this contingent of people that were eligible, and Kraft might have been one of the guys. Now that would be the ultimate irony,
No,
wouldn't it?
you can't have Kraft get. Yeah, I mean, you can't have Kraft get in and hold Belichick out. I mean, Kraft's success is because of Belichick. Like that.
Does
I mean,
Spygate though outweigh all of those accomplishments? I mean, was that enough? If he was indeed
no,
doing
no.
something that was outside the parameters, the guidelines of what you're supposed to do to scout a team, I always thought, and even in the Michigan scandal, the whole sign stealing thing, a little bit overrated. I don't know. You can always change your signs. It's Joe Garrity all the time. Just change the signs, man. You got a guy on second base. If you're sensing that Belichick is doing some unscrupulous thing, underhanded thing, and that he's doing it all the time, why wouldn't you just deliberately go out there and find a way to confuse the living f out of him and have your practices done one way? And
Yeah,
look, how confusing is it when you're watching those guys where they have all of the placards and they got
yeah,
pictures,
yeah. And 12
pose with
different
a clown
pictures.
and all this stuff? How do you know what play they're calling?
Exactly.
They got six guys, man, flashing signals. Who the hell knows which guy is actually the guy that's on? It's not like Frank Crissetti is out there, and if he touches his nose, you know the guy's going.
Yeah.
So I don't know. How did you feel about that? I'll let you go ahead and express yourself
Look,
because
I mean,
you hate the Patriots
I'm
and
biased.
Belichick and Brady, but I mean this is Hall of Fame consideration. How do you keep this guy out of the Hall of Fame with what he did?
What cheating did Shula do? Um, they're not keeping him out. He's going to get in. He's widely regarded as the best coach ever. I mean, he won the most Super Bowls by a lot, and he's been to the most even more. So he's a Hall of Famer. Is he first ballot? No, he's actually not. No, you
Okay,
get caught
how
cheating
can he
three
not be though?
times. Can't get caught cheating. Ken made really good points. Like,
Yeah.
what sport do you get caught cheating once and are considered for the Hall of Fame? He was
Uh,
caught cheating three times. Three
yeah.
times. Like, and again, what anyone with logic will tell you, if you're caught three times, how many times you're actually cheating? Like, oh, they got you the only three times you cheated.
Yeah.
Like, and it was throughout his career, right? Like, it wasn't, oh, he just cheated early, but then he got like the Barry Bonds thing that he still isn't in the Hall of Fame, by the way. We all agree that he only started cheating later. Look, Belichick, should he be in? Yes. Should he be up first ballot? Yes. But here's the deal. I am grateful in this world where the goddamn government breaks the law every day that rules.
They shot a guy in the head the other day, literally.
What?
They shot a guy in the head. They
Yes.
literally
So
executed this
that's
guy in the
the
streets.
world.
This nurse
Yes. Who
that
was doing nothing wrong.
the veterans taking care of veterans. Now you don't know that at the time, but I mean, the more you watch this video, the more appalling it becomes. And that you could just shrug your shoulders at it and go, well, it's an unfortunate thing. It's like unfortunate, easy for you to say. How about the poor dead man and his family and friends? My God, all he was doing, that guy literally was diving in front of this lady that they knocked to the ground on ice, which could have killed her just as easily if her head hits the pavement. And he gets in front of these people before as they're trying to pepper spray him, and the next thing you know, while already disarmed, which he never reached for this
Never
weapon.
went near the gun. The gun
Never.
was in the back. The thing where all the people keep it in the freaking back. You couldn't even get to it.
These are the same people that are screaming that don't take our guns away. And every time there's a school
100%.
shooting,
It's
the
all,
Marco Rubios of the world get up there like he did at that Parkland town meeting and say, he gets asked directly by like a 14-year-old, "Hey, are you going to continue to take money from the gun lobbies?" And Marco's like, "How many?" He went cramping.
Yep.
But no, we didn't mean to get that heavy. I mean, but unfortunately,
I'm just saying, in this world where we just
nice
ignore
to see somebody
laws,
held accountable. Is that?
I don't mind it. I don't mind it. Did I expect it? No, I forgot. I forgot about the cheating because I never thought they'd ever bring it up. Like the
What
NFL
else was there though? I mean, you mentioned was it the Spygate thing? Was like
did it again.
multiple
Remember, they got
offenses?
caught again for doing it later in his career. Like he didn't. He never learned. He just so all that should tell you is that he was cheating his whole career. Like again,
Possibly so, yeah.
logically,
Yeah.
if he gets caught 3 times, then he didn't just start or just end. Like, is he Hall of Famer? Yes. Will he get in? They've openly said yes, he'll get in next year. But to me, like there should be some laws or rules that are applied that matter. Like I get there's ways to rig the game. Okay, then don't get caught. But once you get caught, then there has to be penalties. Don't get caught. Look, we all push it. That's fine. We all speed. But if you get caught by the cops, you're like, well, I always speed. I shouldn't get a ticket now. Well, you got caught now.
Yeah.
So I all the people who are outraged, I don't understand the outrage. Like,
well, I mean, if you just look at the comps, it's the same thing. Now, Pete Rose, you're talking about the integrity of the game, which has always been the big issue there, and the fact that he was lying about it for all those years. I do believe that Pete Rose would have gotten in the Hall of Fame if he had just said, "Yeah, I did it."
Yeah, for sure.
A long time prior to actually taking advantage of admitting it when he finally wrote his book. That oh, by the way, I might have made a few bets, but none of them were to impact the game in any negative fashion. Come on, Pete, are we supposed to buy everything that you're telling us now when you've been lying to us for 14 years? I believe, and I also believe that had Bart Giamatti not checked out, that he would have gotten in after a year because I thought, I don't know this for any fact or anything, but and I don't know that it's ever been brought out with any conclusive evidence that they had a wink deal that Pete was going to accept this lifetime ban with eligibility to come back after 1 year. 1 year would go by. Pete would become contrite, maybe even admit that he'd been on baseball, and they'd go ahead and put him in the Hall of Fame. So he went to his grave without having that distinction from a credential standpoint. Did anybody deserve it as much as Pete Rose, the all-time hits leader by a mile? 4,000 plus hits in his major league career. Incredible. In an era where we no longer care about batting average. I mean, the Polyman sent me something the other day. When Mickey Mantle won his Triple Crown, he actually hit like 358, Lubie, showing you how things have changed. So the criteria changes. In this case, the numerology is so overwhelming in Belichick's favor. That might have been overlooked, but was it to you? I know he was doing this repeatedly, but what was it that he was doing exactly? Was it so serious that you would deny him the acknowledgement of his accomplishments throughout his career? I don't know. He seemed to be a little confused by it, but as Andy pointed out, he's banging a 24-year-old, and that in and of itself should qualify him for any Hall of Fame that you could possibly open him up for eligibility for. But yeah, that was a big story. All right, so you feel like the cheating supersedes anything that he did on the field, and what? That the voters probably will go ahead and relent, and if he's eligible again next year.
Bill Polian rallied everybody because the Colts had their big rivalry with the Spygate was literally the Colts. Like that, he was like, "Look, the dude does not deserve to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. He was caught cheating multiple times. Like, how is that? Again, in any other sport, that guy's not even put on the ballot." Like to the point, and we know Barry Bonds did steroids. We know that obviously he did it. He never got caught. Never got caught when it was illegal. Not once did he get caught when it was illegal. Not once. Right. And he's not in the Hall just because of opinions and belief systems. Okay, so then how is this guy going to be first ballot when he got caught 3 times? Like, and if Jerry Rice and Montana got caught once, they should have been punished. If they got caught 2 more times, then they shouldn't have been put in the first ballot either. Like,
so do you think Brady will get in first ballot? Because you would have to say Deflategate
had
to be all on him. No,
he was involved in the Deflategate was all him. And he did benefit from Spygate, right? And it's hard to believe he wasn't involved. If maybe we know they had their issues at the end, but when they were winning, they had to have been in concert. You would have thought, right? They went to what 9 Super Bowls he went to. Like you would think they would have been working together. So That's what a lot of people, because a lot of people are like, oh, you're biased. I'm like, yeah, I'm biased, but I'm not wrong. Like he cheated, he got caught cheating 3 times. Like,
Yeah, I could see both sides of this argument. I really can. I don't know if you're going to be eligible ever. Then you have to come to some kind of conclusion about where does the cheating weigh in. In other words, should he even be eligible in light of these what turned out to be things that he was held accountable for? So it isn't like people were speculating. I don't know that anybody needed to speculate about Barry Bonds using steroids. All you have to do is take up a before and after picture of his head. Who has his head grow? When did you ever look in the mirror and go, "Geez, my head is getting
no,
bigger"?
he did roids. We know he did roids, but what I'm saying is he never got caught.
Yeah.
So just how bad are you at cheating if you got caught 3 times? Like,
He
so
didn't
that's
seem to care to abide by the
and
rules.
what's the underlying? Again, that's why the professor's so frustrated by it. Is
Schuler's got to be just absolutely overjoyed.
he's getting, yeah, he's getting.
Right?
But it's not that he got
He's
caught.
racing
It's
you.
if you're getting caught, how much are you actually doing the cheating, and what other cheating are you doing? And that's my problem. Is I assumed he would get him
Is he
first
the only
ballot.
one that got caught, though? I mean, or is it commonplace?
I don't know. We haven't heard other people getting caught. Like he got caught.
But it's kind of like the college regulation by the NCAA, where I can't imagine that Ohio State has never been guilty of even the
Obviously.
slightest indiscretion. That
Damn,
Notre Dame has never done anything
100%.
outside the parameters of the rules, and yet they're never being investigated.
No, it's douchey. It's not even. It's not fair. Whatever. But again, if they
Urban
get
Meyer has, guys that have shot people on his roster.
caught, yeah, get many
There's
titles.
child molesters or whatever, people that are molesting and abusing women, and there never was any investigation that done into any of this.
100%. I didn't say it's fair.
Yeah.
And again, I assumed he would have gotten first ballot. But if a bunch of NFL people rally together going, he did cheat a lot, like,
Well, maybe if he was
nothing?
more generous with his
And he was
approach.
a douche, and he was a
Right.
jerk. All the Barry Bonds stuff. Yeah. I mean,
Because
holier than
Bonds was despised by the press because he was an asshole to the press, as was Belichick. for the most
Belichick was worse, actually. Bonds would at least do interviews. He was just bitter all the time. Like, Belichick was the worst. Belichick would literally you couldn't understand him. It was like Shaq times 10. Like, you don't even know what he was saying the way he would talk. That's how condescending he was, and thought how stupid the press was now. And now he makes his money being a part of the press,
Yeah.
like they all do. Like,
Which is good.
he didn't ingratiate himself either. Like, again, would I have done this? Probably no. The guy is the greatest coach ever by track record. But I applaud them for doing it, because there should be consequences for getting caught. Not cheating. Everyone cheats. It's when you get caught. Like, if you get caught blatantly 3 times, how is there no consequence? Oh, go right in, buddy. Like, come on. I mean, that would be weird.
Welcome to the hall. Here's a yellow jacket. Yeah. All right, so that was a big story. I don't know. I mean, Belichick supposedly is like a really cool guy if you're among his small circle of friends. Jimmy Johnson loves the guy, takes him fishing all the time, and says he's a riot. So a lot of people don't see that side of him. He seemed to be. Was he well liked by players? When you see those clips, NFL film clips, these brave young men, and you see Belichick goofing around with guys on the field, it seems like he was okay in terms of his relationship with players. Yeah, I mean, Hall of Fame credentials, without a doubt. The fact that he didn't really endear himself to anybody by being pretty much of an insufferable ass in terms of the way he treated the press and his media persona probably did as much damage as any of the cheating incidents. But it's good. I'm glad you're on the side of righteousness, Lubie.
Again, if Don Shula got caught cheating and him being disciplined doesn't make it less egregious. Shula Joe Jackson got disciplined and then also was kicked out of the game. Like, when you get caught cheating, you get punished, and then there's consequences. What is going on with this fucking world that we live in? And pardon my French. Are you kidding me? Like, how is there? If they want to punish him for getting caught, they're allowed to.
Sure.
They have to know. Would everyone have done it? No, because we live in a world of lawlessness. But that doesn't mean when you do, you're the bad guy. If you punish the person who got caught cheating 3 times, you're not the bad guy. Just like the guy who runs in with his gun in his back to help someone, then gets murdered, he's not the bad guy. Like, the guy doing
This is the way of the world these days. You're right, Louis. Unbelievable. All right, Belichick out.
It was. He got caught. He was a part of Deflategate. If you don't think he was a part of Deflategate, you're a moron. You think Tom
Oh,
Brady
I'm sure he had some idea,
going
but
behind Bill Belichick's back to do something that could get them all screwed? Really? Come on, man, grow up. It's like when Urban
how
Meyer.
about when you catch that ball? I mean, you've had it happen where you start out and the ball's got air in it, and all of a sudden it somehow got deflated, and the guy throws you the ball, and it's like catching a pumpkin. I mean,
Well, the Cora supposedly wasn't involved with the Astros. Cora probably wasn't involved. He got punished. Like, that's how it worked. You're the manager. Look, we love Patino. We love Patino. The dude literally drove to our studio and was there for an hour. The dude picked
he
us
invited us to that
from
party.
the airport. The dude literally had us treated like VIPs at his gala. Like, we love Patino. I will say he knew about all of it. I'm sorry.
It's hard to imagine he didn't, because these guys are detail free. Yeah. No, I mean, look, you hear how disciplined these guys are when it comes to details. It always amazes me when you talk to a coach.
Punished and then kicked out of the hall. You can be punished and also punished later. That's how punishment works.
All right. Well, they threw the book at him. That's for sure. Speaking of cheaters that are in the Hall of Fame, this guy checked out. He was a big part of my past, my degenerate upbringing. Largely was fueled by races that we thought were fixed by Carmine Abatello, mentioned many times over the years here on various shows that I've done. Probably there's not a year that goes by that there isn't at least one Carmine Abatello reference. The Big Red, as he was known, because he wore these red silks that were indicative of his stable. And Abatello, one of the all-time greats in harness racing, checked out at 89, also was implicated in a superfecta fixing scheme, but still managed to be in the Hall of Fame. I think the same is true of Jacinto Vasquez, who was accused of race fixing at one point in time and may have even been held accountable for it, and still made it into the Horse Racing Hall of Fame. So the criteria just depends what Hall of Fame you're talking about, Lubie.
Oh, obviously. I mean, again, football is less tough than baseball. Basketball doesn't even have an NBA Hall of Fame. You can be average in the NBA, but be great in the other levels, and then you can get in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Like 100%. And again, they usually football. You can do steroids, and they don't care. Like they don't. I don't know if they test for it. I guess now they're testing for performance stuff.
How come you haven't seen more than? I mean, has there been more than one obscure or two suspensions for roid use in the NFL?
Yeah,
it's impossible to believe none of these guys are juicing.
They're all using it.
Yeah.
It's football. Like, so again,
play this game 17 times in a regular season, and then go on and play 3, possibly 4 playoff games, but without an excessive amount of performance-enhancing drugs. It's incredible. I mean, I'm watching these guys get injured. It happened again last night at the Australian Open. These tennis players can't survive 7 matches in a tournament. So, and that's over a 2-week span playing tennis. Imagine what it's like to go through 17 games of an NFL season. Have you seen any suspensions? I want to say none, right? When was the last time we saw an NFL player suspended for juicing? You see more baseball players getting punished for that. It's crazy. So who's monitoring the cheating? I guess, and if everybody's doing it, is it okay? If you happen to be the guy that got caught, like you said, Lubie, you're going to have to find somebody who can get you out of that speeding ticket so you don't get any points on your license and get further screwed by your insurance company. Abatello checked out at 89, the Big Red. Checked out at 89. Ended up with 7,170 harness racing victories. Now, you have to consider the times because he made $50.3 million in purse money. But
Jesus.
When I was rolling into Roosevelt Raceway, circa, what would it have been? About like 1968, 69 is when I started going there. When my friends from high school, the purse money could not have been anywhere near what it would be today. Oh, no. And harness racing, of course, we haven't seen those monetary rewards escalate to the point that they have in thoroughbred racing, where, well, we just had here at Gulfstream Park, what, a $12 million race. You don't see that in harness racing. The Hambletonian might be the biggest one. There's probably a handful of races of that equivalent purse money-wise. So to win $50 million in purses when he was grinding it out as these claimers were running for $12,500 in a stakes race, pretty amazing accomplishment. Carmine Abatello, Big Red. 20 driving titles, Roosevelt and Yonkers combined. And also was effective other places around the country. You would think, and has what? Is it just the one son, Eric Abatello, who was riding in New Jersey before they folded up Freehold Raceway, one of the all-time crooked establishments in the history of degenerate gambling? Not sure. But Carmine checked out, and so a piece of my past, a big piece of my past.
Oh, that's sad. I'm sorry.
went right out the. I didn't know him.
Oh no, but you've referenced Carmen Abatello a great deal.
Abatello, because I don't know that anybody stiffed more 3 to 5 shots in the history of harness racing than Carmine Abatello. First of all, you have to be on a lot of 3 to 5 shots, and then you have to win your share of races to deserve that kind of street cred. We always joked that his biceps had to be huge from pulling those horses back. I guess yank him, yank him. Carmine, what are you doing? The horse is flopping up in the air. They're like, you just pulled a fish out of the water. So he checks out and checks out a small piece of my degenerate past there in the process. Carmine Abatello. Anybody else lose a lot of money on Carmine over the years?
I think
Andy was probably pumping away there. I don't know. He might be too young, Andy, to have been part of that whole scene. All right. Many things happening. We have the Super Bowl still on tap. There was some coaching movement. Joe Brady gets a job with the Buffalo Bills. Joe Brady, I believe, a local guy from South Florida. Brian Daboll, who was the former coach of the New York Giants, at least until earlier this season when he got axed, is now the Titans offensive coordinator. Ironically, 2 fired head coaches from the New York market from just a couple of years ago. Well, Daboll was there this year. Robert Saleh was there until this year. Yeah. And now they are united as head coach and OC.
Which is a nice combo. Saleh finally got it right. I mean, I think Daboll's a really good OC.
Could be, yes.
He's been a head coach. So if you're Saleh, you can just let him have the offense, which is what Saleh's struggled at. And Saleh, as we know, Saleh had half the defense gone, and the Niners were still doing damn. Made it to the second round. Like, Saleh's a good defensive coach, so that's an interesting combination. And we saw Vrabel have success in Tennessee, so it's definitely possible. I mean, they'll spend and
they have Cam Ward.
Been pretty. They have Cam, and he had a really first year, but most people give him the credit that it's not him. That team needs a lot. So we'll see. I thought it was a very interesting hire. And it's so funny. Buffalo fans are not happy about Brady. I love Joe Brady. Like, I wanted the Dolphins to hire Joe Brady. Like, I think he's this young up-and-coming dude that Josh Allen's had his most success with Joe Brady. So, and Daboll, who was with Joe Brady. So I don't know. I think Joe Brady's he's young. He hasn't had that many jobs. But the dude is really good, and he's very creative. Again, Josh Allen was doing everything he could to lose that game. Joe Brady's play calling is what kept them in that game. Like, they don't have a lot of talent. Allen was turning it over left and right, and Brady kept coming up with plays out of his ass that were fantastic. And I'm like, thank you. Like, that's what an offensive coordinator's supposed to do. Like, find the good play, not work into the bad play. Yeah. So, like, I don't know. I like Joe Brady. I thought that was I guess it was just a lazy hire because they were supposed to.
Well, they interviewed virtually everybody. I mean, they interviewed Phillip Rivers. I think they even interviewed like Stephen Colbert for the head coaching position. They were all over the map, the Buffalo Bills, to try and find somebody who could go deeper into the postseason than Sean McDermott, who is still dangling out there. What jobs are left open, Lubie? It seems like most of them are getting filled. Did Arizona hire somebody yet? I don't know that anybody really wants that job because it seems like a hopeless situation, or has been for some time. What's left out there to determine? The Steelers hired McCarthy.
Did the Cardinals hire? The Cardinals, I don't think hired anyone.
Yeah, right? that's. I think Arizona probably remains open.
Cardinals, Browns, and the Raiders. The Raiders,
yeah,
hired anyone.
And who was just Daboll was supposedly a candidate for the head coaching position there, but now he's taken this job. So
no one wants those 3 jobs. The Browns job, supposedly people are literally the OC from the Jaguars, who no one even knows their name, turned down. Like, the Raiders and Cardinals, I think they'll get people. No one wants no one even wants to interview for the Browns. Like, they're not even interviewing.
It's a weak organization, no doubt about it. If you wanted to look, if you just wanted to get a head coaching opportunity, there are only 32 of them. You would have to imagine that it's a position that you would definitely want to latch on to your first chance. But, yeah, if you're going to be doomed to failure, it's kind of like becoming a manager for the first time in Major League Baseball with an expansion team that's going to get hammered. And you literally are left with no chance. Now NHL, the NHL did the right thing, I think, by giving expansion teams a little bit of a chance.
Yes.
Does that not make sense? Because why start a franchise where you're going to be at the bottom for 10 years? You can wait a while for that to happen, like we have with the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, it sucks.
But it's not quite as painful, but at least you don't disorient you and send your fan base, whatever fan base it was that was excited about getting a team, home bitter disappointment for the first 3 seasons, and then finally the indifference sets in, and they say, you know what, bleep this.
Yeah, like the Marlins and Panthers ended up winning somewhat early, but the first 2 years were dreadful, and the Heat was a disaster for a long time. Like, it sucks to like know going in your teams are not going to be good. Like what the NHL does is impressive. Like it gives teams an actual chance.
They went crazy at first. I don't know if they modified their
Vegas, they
considerations
just
for expansion
all
teams.
stars to Vegas. Like Vegas,
and Vegas were really raped Dale
screwed it.
Cullen and the Florida Panthers. What was it? Riley Smith was one of the guys, and Marcia So, and they were two of the key components. I think they gave up Marcia So in the expansion draft, and Riley Smith they traded, and I don't know if they got much back in return. What was up with that, Lubie? People were screaming. You're right. The caller, Mike the Goldie hater, was absolutely spot on in his analysis, and didn't he seem like some kind of rebellious renegade that had gone lone wolf? And every time he called in, people were like, "Oh, well, geez, that guy."
Which was always angry, no matter what the Panthers did. But the overarching theme was correct. Like they never got better. Like Talon ended up building the core that ended up winning 2 cups, but he couldn't do anything else. Like he couldn't. The goalie was always a disaster. The defense was always a mess. They couldn't get those other guys to help out Barkov and Huberdeau and Ekblad. Like he failed. So the guy was right. And again, finding
he made a lot of good points about what
right.
It seems so odd. You know, you get this caller and he's out of left field and he hates everything. But he was right. Now, along those lines, you go by sometimes, I don't know, you're a Florida guy exclusively your whole life pretty much, but maybe you rolled at Rockefeller Center or something and you see
I've traveled a lot.
and the little 2-year-old has got the skates on with the double blades and is being led around the ice there by the parents and still having a little bit of trouble navigating their way around the circle one time, but loving every minute of it. They're taking pictures like crazy. But we saw Sasha Barkov in that situation where he looked like that he was taking some baby steps out there on the ice. So there's a chance, Lubie.
Oh, yeah. Well, Barkov swears he's going to be there if they can make a decent run. That he'll be there by the second or conference finals. Like he swears that he's.
That's what they're looking at. They haven't narrowed down to
somewhere.
That's in July. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Somewhere around my birthday.
September, exactly. But supposedly, that's what I've heard is that he really thinks. Look, Jason Tatum's doing the same thing in the NBA. He was supposedly out for sure all year. He thinks if they can run in the playoffs, he'll be able to make it. We've seen great athletes do weird stuff when it comes to recovery. So I don't put it past either of them.
How heroic would that be? Wow.
I think the Panthers will need him desperately. Like he is, as much as Marchand has saved their rear a lot of this season. He is the straw that stirs the drinks. After being what he was early, he has really grown into their captain. Like he is their best player both ways, and they go the way he goes. So yes, I hope they can play long enough to get him back. I mean, we'll see. It's been a topsy-turvy season.
Yeah, I watched a lot of tennis last night. Novak Djokovic might be to the Australian Open what the New England Patriots are to the NFL. The NFL postseason. Yeah, he gets. He was supposed to play a guy in the quarterfinals or in the round of 16. What would that be? Is that the quarterfinals? Anyway, in the 4th round of the tournament, he's supposed to play Jakub Mensik. Right. He's now in the semifinals. But in his quarterfinal match, he plays the Italian Lorenzo Musetti, who's a real good player. And Musetti's up 2-0. Mensik had to withdraw from the tournament because he had some kind of abdominal injury. So Joker gets a walkover in that round.
Oh, geez.
Which would have been a challenge. And this Mensik can play, man. Has a hell of a serve. He won the Miami Open. And while he's not being talked about in the same parameters as Sinner and Alcaraz and maybe Ben Shelton among the young players, no slouch, man. I mean, people are expecting this guy to really break through. So he gets a walk over there, and then he's losing 2-0 and being handled by this Lorenzo Musetti. And Musetti injures himself early in the 3rd set, ends up being down 3-1. He tries to play another game. He loses that, and then he just has to throw in a towel. So Joker gets he's down 2 sets. The likelihood of him coming back and winning in 5, the way this guy was playing, seemed to be Blutarsky-esque, 0.0. So he now finds himself in the semifinal against Yannick Sinner, who destroyed your man Ben Shelton. Mike Luke last night. Oh man,
yeah, we'll see.
And Shelton is no slouch. When these guys pick it up a notch and it's noticeable, because I mean, it's not like he wasn't mowing down the competition with relative ease to lead up to this point. But the way he dispatched of Shelton last night, that was unreal. So a lot of good stuff going on there. And Jessica Pegula made it into the semifinals. So we're happy for her, and we'll see if she can get past the next round. I believe she has to take on Rabakina, who's regained her form from a couple of years ago, and it's going to be a pretty tough out. All right, Tony Segreto's with us here. We're going to go a little old school here. We'll get Tony's thoughts on a couple of things. Let's bring him in here before we take a break.
Yes, sir.
Look at that face, man. Smiling as always. How are you, Tony?
I am fine and dandy and ready to go.
Look how happy he is. He was like he's living for Shula.
Did Don talk to you last night in your dreams?
It's cold outside. I'm loving the Shula thing because God bless him. He is
hated Bill Belichick.
Imagine it. I mean, they just spit in Belichick's face, basically. This Hall of Fame contingent that was doing the voting,
and they should, not that they would comment, but they should get a comment. Should go after David and Michael and get reaction from them. They won't. And David and Michael in their defense.
Shula's aren't inclined though to
no.
I mean to revel in it. Don might have taken a snide shot at Belichick, but I can't see David or Michael Shula seems like a recluse anyway. Who knows anything about Michael Shula? Do we know his whereabouts? David was much more present in the public.
Don would have done this. He would have said the company line.
Yeah.
In front of the press conference, and then he would have dragged me and maybe a couple of the guys in the back and go, Jesus Christ, I can't believe they let him off. Or they let him in, or they, whatever they did. But God bless him.
Yeah, I thought maybe he was in touch via seance with you, Tony, last night.
He was.
Yeah. I mean, this is right back to the whole 72 Dolphin team and the champagne celebration every year when the final undefeated team ends up sustaining a loss. And I would imagine he was popping a champagne cork somewhere. But what do you think? I mean, would you have put Belichick in there? Are you a Belichick hater? Achievement to maybe a level of unscrupulous activity on his behalf?
He'll get in.
Clearly outweighs this whole business of Spygate, in my opinion, anyway.
He'll get in.
Oh, yeah. He'll get in next year, I think. But
it was a shock at first.
I didn't even know he was eligible.
I came out of nowhere yesterday.
I thought it was 5 years.
I saw this story. Belichick denied Hall of Fame. I'm like, well, what Hall of Fame?
Yeah, exactly.
The Harness Racing Hall of Fame?
The Boston Hall of Fame.
Was he a driver? Did he have a stable?
I didn't understand. I was like, I thought that I know coaches, they don't follow the exact rules. I know that coaches, like in the NBA, they'll be Hall of Famers while they're coaching. So like, I get it, but I thought that I was like, okay. He just quit.
Yeah, he was a coach 2 years ago.
Coached, and no one gave him a job. Like, okay.
Shouldn't you have to wait?
I thought everybody waited 5 years. He was in. How could coaches be in this Meshuggah category of contributors? Like, why would that be a separate category? I understand players, coaches. Okay, maybe you don't have the exact same rules, but you would think that you would have to be out of the game to 5 years. That would be applicable to coaches as well as. Yeah, I mean, look, if you have some owner and he's just about to check out, he's on his deathbed, and you want to waive something, fine, put him in the Hall of Fame before he goes. But anyway, like I said, I didn't even know he was eligible. I didn't know any of this voting was going on. I guess around the Super Bowl is always when they have the reveal. Remember how painful it was all those years, Lubie, when Bob Kuchenberg would stop by, or somebody who was
Jerry Kramer would.
Jerry Kramer, yeah. Jerry Kramer every year was eligible, Tony. I don't know. Maybe
he's a Hall of Famer.
And every year you had to ask him, and he was doing 30 of these spots. They
walk
and everybody's like, "Well, Jerry, you're eligible for the Hall of Fame."
Kuchenberg was the same.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
What would it mean to you to get in after
Yeah.
14 years of being denied?
After
I would
14 years.
like 30 times he would have to go around and start crying like, oh, I can't believe it, what an honor it would be, like, all right. I mean, just because of the fact that these guys were in such agony over it, you would have thought they'd give him a free pass, but that this was always the time. So I guess that's where this Belichick stuff came from. But I would have thought you had to be out of the year. Coach would have to be out 5 years also.
5 years.
But apparently not, Tony. Apparently not.
Apparently not.
We don't know the rules. That's for sure. You didn't have any interest in Carmine Abatello as a harness driver, did you, Tony? This was a New York thing. You weren't really like a New York guy.
Yes, I
You
was.
go to Roosevelt Raceway or Yonkers at any time in your life?
Yeah, because my uncles owned horses.
Oh,
Get
nice.
out of here. I
Trotters.
thought he was a bookmaker. And he owned horses too?
Bookmaker.
He wasn't a bookmaker, although maybe in the past. He owned.
Wasn't
harness
somebody in
horses.
your family involved in like a numbers game or something? No? Nothing? All right. Didn't you mention that one time that I guess so, it was another Tony Segreto. I'm sorry. So, all right. So anyway, so he owned horses.
He owned the trotters, and
Yeah?
we went to the races, and
How old was this? A young Segreto? Like you couldn't get in if you were a kid.
couldn't get in till you were what,
I
18?
think you had to be 18.
Yeah.
No, that couldn't be because we were going when we were 16. I don't know. We didn't have phony driver's licenses or anything like that because you almost had to be 18 to get a driver's license.
No, 16. You're right, 16.
Might be 16. Might have been. Yeah.
And we went to the Yonkers. We went to what was the other one you mentioned?
Roosevelt Raceway was out on Long
Roosevelt.
Island. Yeah.
Went to Roosevelt Raceway, and
Right by Fortunoff's. It was a big Fortunoff's parking lot.
Yeah.
And we watched Carmine stiff any number of horses where even as teenagers, we could clearly see that this guy was doing something that wasn't anywhere near on the level. And I always thought harness racing was the most crooked of all sports.
oh yeah, by far was it.
Maybe not anymore. They may be of high integrity at this point. Seeing some
What do
of the
they even have harness racing now?
It's limited. Let's face it. The Meadowlands still goes. You got Woodbine, Mohawk, a couple of other smaller tracks. I mean, maybe.
Imagine being in that game now.
Well, there's big money in it also. These guys do okay, some of them. Less of them, obviously, than before. But yeah, it doesn't have its popularity. You used to go to Roosevelt Raceway or Yonkers, and the place was jamming. On a Friday, Saturday night? Are you kidding me? It was like going to a Yankee game when they were involved in a postseason. Very exciting.
Speaking of Yankees,
Yeah.
Pompano Racetrack
Yes.
used to be Mickey Rivers' hangout.
Well, that's funny.
A lot of Yankees. Joe D was there. I met him there. Joe D. There's Alan Finkelson, the greatest ever PR guy next to
Greatest,
Ari. I mean,
greatest, by far the greatest PR man ever.
It's saying a lot. I mean, we've known a lot of good ones. Like I said, my man Frank Fiore was years there in Hialeah Park. You love Frankie, and
Yeah,
but
that's-
Finkelson was a show unto himself. It was like walking into a live rendition of a late night talk show with this guy.
You're right.
Yeah, we got our guests over here. We got Whitey Ford. Hey, Defo. Mick. You're like Mick. It's Mickey Mantle.
He was a throwback when there were throwbacks.
He knew how to treat people, and one of the things I guess this probably cost Belichick as much as the cheating scandals is he knew how to endear himself to the press just
Yes, he
by treating the press as if they had some level of importance or significance, whereas Belichick was constantly, pushing everybody out the door and doing his best to let you know what kind of disdain he had for him. Finkelson could not have been any more gracious. And what is his job? To generate publicity. And what do you want to do? You want to make sure that you mention, wow, I ran into this guy who was just like the greatest. And we were sitting there. That office was classic. And Steinbrenner, was pretty much involved because he had harness horses also. So
Do you remember Charlie Callahan?
vaguely, yeah. I'm trying to picture him right now as you mention his name with the fins.
He was classic. He was just, he'd smoke a cigarette and he'd come out.
Jack Allen was a PR guy with the fins.
Yes.
Yeah,
PR
he
guy
was a little before my time there.
Yeah.
When I first was covering the Dolphins, I want to say Harvey Green, I don't think had quite gotten there yet. Maybe I don't know. When did Harvey start? Because they had a few guys that weren't. They had one guy named White who came from Notre Dame who was a complete alienator of
Yeah.
anybody that wanted to cover the team. I mean, as I recall, and then Harvey must have come in and cleaned that mess up.
Yeah.
Talk about a nice long run. Chip, of course, was there. Our man Chip Namias, so he was good. All right, we're going to come back, Tony, in just a moment. We'll get into some things that are going on. Tony Segreto going old school with us. Brought to you by Texas Roadhouse Restaurants. Ed Garcia not able to make it today on a flight. Guy's only got like 16 restaurants he's taking.
Yeah.
You imagine doing that? I can't imagine this guy's workload. How the hell he does that?
And gotta say, that is the best meal you're gonna get for the price.
Without question. Prices have skyrocketed. I don't know what the Trumpster is telling people, but he must not shop much.
I'm not
For him to
gonna
look at a camera and say everything's going down. I yesterday I bought like some chicken that I was going to cook up for my dogs, and it was 2 for 1, which was the sign that immediately attracted me there. And then I'm looking, I'm going, yeah, but this is like paying 2 times what the price used to be for the 2 packages. Anyway, I mean,
you have to use it by the day.
Yeah.
yeah. Who knows where the source was, but no, I mean, it's crazy with the price of food now for restaurants. The margins were never really all that high anyway.
No.
So how they keep the prices as low as they do at Texas
Insane.
Roadhouse is remarkable. All right, we're going to come back with Tony and more in a moment. Now that the time, hope you guys just hate Belichick. I'm through with you both. It's 8:49.
Hey, folks, Tony Segreto here. Let me ask you a question. What do you look for when you go out to eat? Good food, obviously, friendly atmosphere, not too loud, but good energy, reasonable prices, and a place where you feel comfortable. All those ingredients, no pun meant there, are hard to find unless you're talking about the Texas Roadhouse. You see, they encompass all of those attributes. Really, really good food, amazing atmosphere, good for a family, good for a date, or just a night out for yourself, and prices that will make you extremely happy. Their ribs unmatched. Steaks hand cut every day. Everything, and I mean everything, is made on site, including their incredible bread. It's the one day, folks, that you can forget about low-carb diets. Trust me when I tell you, Texas Roadhouse, your restaurant, your destination when you say, where should we go and eat tonight?
From the newly renovated sports bar to the beautiful bayside views captured at the Tiki Bar, Jimmy Johnson's Big Chill has it all. Located at mile marker 104, the Big Chill also offers waterfront dining while experiencing breathtaking sunset views of the Florida Keys. It's simply the hottest spot in the Keys to cool off. That's Jimmy Johnson's Big Chill at mile marker 104 in Key Largo. For more information, call today at 305-453-9066.
Recently,
Joe Bees. The bees collect the pollen, bring it to Joe, he packages it, and he gets it to you. It's simple, 100% natural, and it's good for you.
There's only one place to get Joe Bees, and that's from me. Joe B.
If you want to look and feel good, call 877-300-5632.
Is go back, way back into time.
We are now kicking it old school with the one and only Tony Segreto. Brought to you by Texas Roadhouse.
Tell me, doctor, where are we going?
All right, welcome back to the show. This is kind of interesting and story that developed yesterday involving a local scene here and Tony's beloved University of Miami Hurricanes, who made a noble showing and very nearly grasped a national championship that would have richly rewarded their backers. I think, Tony, you might have been one of those guys at one time that would just put 100 down. I know Sonny Hirsch would have had 100 on him to win the championship before the season.
I would have called Sonny and said, put it down on me. Give me a...
Yeah, I mean, you could see him in the sports office there at WYOD calling, and he's on the phone.
IOD, Miami Stadium.
Oh yeah, well that was a hell of a place. Didn't he have a dog there with him in the office also?
Yeah,
dog. I'm not sure. I met him there. And I think
three-legged dog.
Yeah, I remember going out there. Believe it or not, to cover an Orioles spring training.
A three-legged dog, he would call a tripod.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he was a quirky sort, but he would be the guy that would be inclined to put 100 down before the season on any team that he was following. Including like Leonard Hamilton's 0-18 University of Miami basketball team at the time when they got into the Big East and got clobbered every night. But I mean, imagine if you had done that here, you would have been sitting possibly on 5 dimes for your $100 investment, which would be a nice score. Now, that being said, they've gone out there and they've done it again. And you being old school, Mister Pure Amateur Sports, certainly must have trouble relating to what's going on here, as the Hurricanes now have signed this Mensa guy who might be a Mensa candidate. He went to Duke. I don't know if he attended classes there. Darian Mensa, who was trying, he had a contract already signed to play at Duke, and he somehow managed to squirm his way out of that, get the backing of the courts, and he's now a Hurricane.
No, the courts didn't back him. The courts actually backed Duke. Duke pussied out, and Miami waved $8 million in their face. Yeah, Miami waved, Duke. That's why people like me are annoyed about this. Again, when they went and got Beck and Ward, I didn't say anything because that's the system, right? Everyone's transferring, everyone's fine. To this point, the contracts have been the one thing programs have respected because it's a fucking contract. Again, pardon my French, double twice today. It's a contract. Any avenue in this world, a contract carries weight. If it didn't, we wouldn't sign them. So he had a contract. Programs have not messed with kids with contracts because they have a contract. Because again, they want their kids with contracts to not be messed with. Cristobal is very desperate. He's horrendous at recruiting quarterbacks. Their quarterback would be the worst in the country. They miss out on every transfer. So he went above a place no one's gone and threw ridiculous money at this kid who had a week earlier made a video saying, I'm staying, I'm happy. Duke upped it from 4 to 5 million. They're rallying everyone. They just won the conference. And Mario comes in with like this thing that they're doing with him is the sister's going to get a scholarship. He's getting an apartment. I think he gets a plane. He gets a box. He's getting $10 million a year. And he was under contract. Duke had won both cases. But they threw more money at Duke. And in this day and age, they couldn't make him go back to Duke. So in Duke's mind, it's like, if we're going to lose him anyways, why not get money? That's annoying because this was the one thing that could have pushed major change. Like what they did, no one was happy about. Outside of UM fans and outside of UM, no one was happy about this. Like,
Amen.
This is really
Amen.
bad what Mario did. What Mario did was really bad. And that's why people are like, oh, you just hate the Canes. I'm like, dude, this is national news. This is the first transfer that is any news source is constantly talking about. They don't hate UM. Like this is a big deal what UM's doing. And Duke was fighting and was winning. And then Miami threw a ton of cash at him and Duke said, fine. And it's just annoying because this could have been the thing to actually force guidelines. Look, UM did what they had to do. Like Bill Belichick did what he had to do. And the kid's going to start for them, and they'll win another 9-10 games instead of winning 6 or 7, which is what would have happened if they didn't get Mensa. But it's just annoying because Duke's endowment's ridiculous. They're a top 5 school in the country. Like they've surpassed most Ivies. Like they don't need the money. They were supposed to be standing on business because their lawyers are ridiculous. They wrote this contract ironclad. Like they have some of the best lawyers in the world. Like they knew what they were doing when they wrote this contract. Like Duke giving in was really annoying. Duke actually was going to win. They were going to get they were going to get it blocked, and then Mensa couldn't go.
Diaz, I feel really bad for Diaz, but
it's fine. It's just annoying.
You're right. Everything you said, Lubie, was absolutely right.
So you still feel good
Yeah.
about the purity of the sport? The scholarship thing that we used to argue about. Look what it really is now. That's the best part, is that it's so unregulated that even when there is some regulation involved, like this contract,
there's nothing holding anybody back.
No,
I mean,
that's why look, a lot of
Vince
coaches
is going to make more money as a college athlete.
Yeah, the 10 million's nuts.
$10 million for this kid.
Well, because I guess there's a buyout that UM's supposedly not paying, but UM's paying. And then there's a settlement.
Where's Nevin Shapiro? Is he involved in any of this?
I don't know. UM has all this money now.
Where's this money coming from, Tony? We want to hold you accountable. You're on the board of directors. What are we talking about here? What's changed? That used to be the whole narrative about the Canes was, oh, they don't have enough money to pay assistant coaches, what they do at Alabama and Georgia and some of these other places. So we never really have the best staff. And that changed. And now, you have a quarterback. Who would ever think that you would have a quarterback on a college roster making more money than the head coach who's overly paid to begin with at
Amen.
about $1 million a year.
That's the
Imagine
point.
that, like if Testaverde was making more money as a collegian than Jimmy Johnson was making to be the head coach after being lured away from Oklahoma State.
That would not happen.
My
That
God.
would not happen.
All right, so this is the way it is, Tony.
I,
And the benefactor right now is Mario
You know
Cristobal
what?
and the University of Miami.
I'm not going to say it. No.
Why not? Tony, we're here. Create a little spark here. We'll go viral. Beto turns his back on his favorite program.
I appreciate Tony's opinion. Look, again, if this was my program, this is how I would take it. Great. We needed a quarterback. Mensa's really good. So I'm glad we got Mensa. Also, what we did was douchey, jerky, and the sport that's art of the Wild West somehow is even worse off for what we just did. I think you can say both things. Fans
You're
like,
right.
oh, there was nothing wrong. I'm like, dude, come on, man. Like, you have to admit what he did was really gross. Like,
Really,
he was
really
under
bad.
contract and happy about it. Like, now, and I can't be mad at the kid if they come at me with 10 minutes. Like, if you see the stuff that supposedly this kid gone, like, how can the kid turn that down? I can't be mad at the kid. Like, I just, I don't know, man. I was hoping this was going to be the thing that was going to force change. Because again, everyone's doing it. I'm okay with. I want guidelines. I want structure. I want something. Like, and
What
this
did
was
he get up
supposed to
front,
be.
maybe?
What happened?
Did you see what he gets up front?
No, I don't know. No, I don't know. I stopped looking because I got to
Hard to
know.
imagine being in college with like $10 million in your pocket. It's crazy. I mean, I remember there was a kid whose father at the time owned the Boston Celtics at Syracuse when I was there. Harry Mangorian Jr. was the kid. Real good-looking kid. He was in one of the big-time fraternities and was driving around a fancy sports car. And I'm thinking, you know, we were groveling in the streets for the $3 meal money if you got on the bus to play against Rochester, and that was like big money. So what was it like to be like either the drug dealer in the school or Harry Mangorian Jr.? What would you have done in college with like $10 million in your pocket?
Oh, good.
I could have had the greatest. I had the greatest time, but I really could have.
You could have bought the college.
Accelerated.
At that time,
Well,
yeah.
back then, yeah, you probably could. Yeah, for sure.
You know,
Mangorian Jr., man, he got a lot of girls, man. I don't know if it was the money or his.
my daughter was down to two schools. It was either Syracuse or Florida State.
Nice.
And Syracuse we were really impressed with Syracuse.
Syracuse is a great spot.
Great school, but
Yeah.
you can't go from like October to like May.
I'll never forget the first blizzard that hit me in the face at Syracuse. I was completely unprepared for it, even though I grew up in New York where it did snow, but it was nothing like this. This was Arctic tundra. This was, you're looking
It
for.
was the
dog
day we
eater
were there.
Yeah.
It was Arctic tundra too, and it was just.
Oh yeah. I mean, you caught a cold day because, I've been cold a few times in my life. I've often talked about getting off that plane in Minot, North Dakota, in the middle of the winter to call a Virgil Hill fight. But wow, I remember one day walking in a quad at Syracuse and you had to go up like a ton of steps to get from because the campus was known as the Hill.
Yes.
And from this particular vantage on whatever side of the campus it was on, straight up into the sky, climbing steps like you're climbing the Grand Canyon. And it was a wind chill of like 50 below. And I couldn't get back. And I'm wearing like it was popular fashion at the time to wear one of those navy pea coats, which didn't do squat in terms of warmth. They may have looked cool and been part of the whole hippy dippy era, but my God, I still can remember standing on those stairs thinking I'm not going to make it. like you're looking to turn and eat somebody's flesh, that has already passed away on the climb. So it would have taken some adjustments. Let's put it that way.
But it's a great school. So many broadcasters have come from that school.
A lot of great writers too, sports writers.
Amazing. It's amazing. Amazing.
Yeah, no, it's a good spot. A lot of people that became very important in the industry were there when I was there. Fortunately, my name was not mentioned on that list. It's Clockwork Orange for me, man. All right, Tony, you be good, man. What do you got going? Where are you going to be?
I'm going to be with you at Gulfstream on Friday.
Oh, nice. Very good. Did you bet Skippy Longstocking? No, you didn't.
I didn't.
It's your loss.
Give me. You know what? I should have. Give me another horse this Friday.
You
and
think I'll ever hit something like that again?
It was 21-1.
Ever see me jumping up and down on his Friday shows because I just cashed a giant ticket? Never.
Never. He's very quiet. Actually, that's true. He slinks off and then he slinks back.
He does.
He watches the races very quietly.
He go. Yeah. He very quietly. He goes off on the side.
Yeah. I'm not one to start like running up and down screaming if I hit, but
No, but you would do something.
you at least know that I had some
If you
passing
hit,
interest in the race. Yeah.
let me ask you this. The three of us go in and up. The four of us, Michael Mayo too.
Mayo join.
We go in on a bet, and if we win $1 million,
Oh, good. $1 million.
Give it all to Lubie.
I don't need you to give it to me. I love how you guys think.
Yeah.
will you skip up and down the
Oh, yes.
the concourse there?
Oh, sure.
Are you serious?
Even if I have to split it with you guys.
Exactly.
But I would claim it was exclusively my ticket, that I bought this ticket separately.
There you go.
You guys,
Of course.
out in the
But
cold.
of course.
Yeah. It's like, how do you know that your lottery partner is actually going to come clean, right? That
Exactly.
money could change their attitude quite a bit. What 400 million?
Yeah.
All right, Tony, you be good, my friend. We'll see you
Friday, my
Friday. Thanks for being with us, Tony Segreto, old school.
I want to remind people, Eddie,
You were
Andy,
passionate about
me.
UM.
Yeah, I apologize. We've been good going clean here, and I got fired up about two things I actually don't care that much about. I just annoyed the Belichick thing. The defending the Belichick's what's annoying to me. I didn't expect any of it, but it's like, well, he's great. He's going to get in, but come on. Like, he did get caught. If they want to punish him, okay. They're being petty, but it makes sense. Same thing with the UM thing. Everyone's cheating. I get it. But, like, to me, the contract seemed to be the one thing. Again, it's a business thing. That's not even a college football thing. Like, if you have a contract, you have a contract. So to go around a contract, to me, it's like, okay.
Not like Nick Saban slipped in there at the last second and aced Bobby Bowden out of the one recruit.
Exactly. We know the system's broken, but that was the one thing that was holding. And it's like, okay, so there's just nothing. Like, it's just so. But either way, tonight we will have our trivia again, 7:00.
Oh, great.
Love and Oven, Sunrise of a Sunset Strip and Nob Hill. We'd love to have you. It's a lot of fun. The professor is always in rare form with his questions. Food solid, and the atmosphere is always a good time. Prizes. So we'd love to have you tonight, 7:00. Love and Oven.
Very good. All right, I hear that's going well, right, Louis?
It's fun. Yeah, it's a good time. It's smaller than
I thought you had a following question.
Oh, no, not yet. We will, I'm sure.
Question. More of an observation. All right, kids. Good being with you. Thanks so much for joining us. For Mike Lubie, Lubitz Young. Luca Benici Lubitz was a little feisty today. I did get an injury update on a jockey, and we had an interview with this guy. He was great, Umberto Rispoli.
Yes.
Who, of course, was writing journalism in the Triple Crown races, won the Preakness, and then eventually lost the Mount. And there were some questionable decisions that people were looking at by Rispoli, who's a bit of a character. I mean, he definitely is one of those guys that is going to have people react sometimes negatively, but he brings a lot of attention to what he does. And injured in a spill early, I believe, on Pegasus Day, and broke his leg. All kinds of the stuff these guys go through, man. If you didn't consider jockeys to be athletes, just from a pain threshold and ability to recover, it's unbelievable. So we wish him all the best. Was a real good guy when I had him on a couple of interview shows. So Umberto Rispoli. Quick recovery there. Broken leg, broken ankle, broken this, broken that. He sounded like Matt Kachuk in the Vegas Stanley Cup final. All right, we'll see you guys next time. Thanks so much for being with us. For Mike Lubie, Lubitz, I'm Jeff DeForest. We bid you a great day. It looks like it's going to be a beauty out there.
Yeah, weather's great.
I mean, the threshold you talk about for tolerating cold, people are literally freaking out because we had like sub 60 temperatures.
Oh, this weather's glorious.
It's amazing, right? I mean, you start to believe for even the briefest of moments, if you're an atheist, that there is a God. All right, we'll see you, kids. Thanks so much for being with us as we leave you know that.
The time.
9:07.
Let's go to eat a damn snack.
Look what they done.